What's up, everybody? Welcome back to our. Damn, I'm so used to saying speed build, and it's not a speed build anymore. I don't even know what to call it. I guess we're just gonna go with Crimson Shores, episode 3, because that is essentially what we're doing here. We made a lot of progress last episode. We basically filled out the whole terrain of the map. And while I was away, I was thinking that maybe it would be a good idea to close this off instead of having water. But then I don't know, it's like we kind of run out of space to really work with if I do that. So I think this should be fine for now. I'll just have it be a little bit more like cliffy, I guess, instead of being more of like a beach. So we'll just go ahead and raise the terrain around there just so I can remember to do that later. Um, but yeah, I hope everybody's having a good week. I am pretty excited to hop back in here and start working on our first area, which will be down and under over here. So we're gonna start with the plane crash as we have decided already. And honestly, I don't think I've ever really done this before, so I don't really know how to build it. Let's see if I search for plane, if there's any. I know it's gonna bring up all the. Oh, look at that. Fire plane crash. So yeah, I mean that's basically what we're looking for. I mean, I don't know if I'm gonna want it on fire though. I think I'd rather if we just woke up, because it also takes a lot of resources to do that. I think it'd be better if we just woke up next to it. Maybe we like make this kind of burn down a little bit. All right, let's see. If we put this down, let's see what else we have here just in case. How does this one look? Honestly, that one looks a little better. And it comes with other parts as well. So we'll go with this one. We will put that down. We'll put this down. We gotta get the doors in there. The tires. Basically everything a plane has. We gotta get the wings. And anything else that we could put down? I think that's about all the props we could really use. So let's go ahead and put this into the ground, and then obviously we're gonna need to make it look like it kind of came down. And I think the best way to do that is to lower the terrain that it came from. So we'll just do that right now. And this will be like its path of destruction, basically. Yeah, something like that looks good to me. And then we just put this down inside, make it look like it stopped halfway through. Perfect. Something about the texture over here is kind of throwing me off as well, so we might need to change that. And we'll just put this down here like so. Obviously, I don't know, I'm kind of struggling. I'm wondering if I should actually put the like the fire effects or not. I think it would make sense, and it would give it more of like an impact, like if you woke up next to a fire, then you actually know what just happened. Damn, I'm realizing that a lot of this series is just gonna be me quietly rotating objects. Like I said, hopefully, by the end of this series, I'll be much better at commentating. I just honestly, I just don't even know what to talk about when I'm doing things like this, except basically just explaining what it is that I am doing. which in this case is basically just putting the objects down. I mean, damn. See, this is why I went with the speed build format at first, because I was like, dude, I'm not really a great commentator, as I am a builder. So it just makes sense for me to basically time lapse it, because this is raw right now. This is me sitting here at 3 in the afternoon, just like just kind of just building, bro. Um, Here, then we'll put this one. Oh, you know what? That's actually a good idea. Hold on, I just had a really great idea. What if we put this right here and made it look like it was connected? If you guys catch my drift, make it look connected, and then also just like on the surface. You get me? So we'll have it like this. That I think looks really good. I'll put this one a little bit further up. I don't even know if that's like correct. Like, I think the flaps are supposed to be the other way, right? No, that wouldn't make sense. Unless this is like the left side. Does this have a name? Plane crashed wings. Man, I don't know. Honestly, that's just gonna have to do, I think. All right, cool. I think that looks like it looks like a plane crash, right? Then we just gotta put like debris. I'll see if I could search up like debris and then rocks, and then last but not least, we'll put the flame effects. So I think it's necessary, honestly. I think without them, it wouldn't look right. So we'll do that. We'll do that. Yeah, I mean that looks like a plane crash. It looks like it actually like went through here. So I think that looks good. Um, let's see if we can find some like debris to lay around it. Debris. What do we got here? We got like stone and rocks. We're not really looking for that. I'm looking for more like metal, kind of like something like that. Actually, I wish it wasn't like rusted. Oh, perfect, perfect. This is really what I'm looking for. And if we just like layer that up right there, that looks fine to me. Alright, we can just scatter these around the place, and we'll just rotate them now. That way they're not just floating above ground. You know, one thing I've like grown to have an eye for in gaming is the fact that like a lot of people don't even realize how many floating assets there are in games. Like, you just casually walk by it, you know. But if you really just take a second to look, especially at any like open world game, especially Ubisoft games, if you just take a moment to really like open your eyes for like the environment, you'll find so many like floating pieces of grass, floating rocks. You can see stuff like clipping through the ground. It's really interesting stuff. Like, it's something that like you just get away with as a game, like something that just it's just so hard to see, so nobody ever sees it, and it ends up just kind of being like one of those things that are there but nobody really pays attention to. So, you know, if we have something floating, it doesn't really matter, to be honest. There's plenty of floating stuff in my last level. I don't think anybody really caught it. So, yeah. All right, last but not least, I think the way to make this look extra good is to make it rocky in the bottom, because technically we just kind of crashed here. You know what I'm saying? And we'll like layer it up with snow so it doesn't look super, you know what I mean? And then we'll put grass around it. Because I don't know if I should really have it be that snowy, but I do want it to look like fire kind of burned through here a little bit. You know what I'm saying? So we just gotta like make it look kind of burnt-ish if we're going that route. Something like that. Okay, honestly, that's looking pretty good. And then what we want to do is take out these trees right here. And we're gonna start with adding the rocks, I think. Let's see here. We gotta go to rocks. The snow ones. And like let's start oh boy, here we go. Now I'm really gonna struggle with commentary because I gotta figure out what to say when I'm placing down rocks. Cause man, it's hard out here for that. I don't like really using these, but for like the background, I mean, it's just like, is there really even a point? Like, I don't think people really care, but it does give it like a nice detailed look. Let's just try it out real quick. Let me see what this looks like if I like place it down right here. See, like that makes it look like nice and detailed. Oh my god, I have an addiction to doing this, like straight up. I hate leaving my terrain without like rock textures on them. It just, I feel like it adds so much. It's like it doesn't really need to be perfect though, because technically speaking, I don't think I'm actually going to detail anything over here. So we'll just leave it at like that, I think. I just got to be more like I gotta care a little bit less about it, because genuinely nobody's actually like giving a crap about it. Like when I was replaying Far Cry 5 even, there's a lot of instances where like the terrain is just terrain, you know? Like it doesn't use any rock textures, but like something about me, I just like it to look better, because that looks better to me. It just looks better, straight up. And if it looks better, then I'm doing it. Forget it. I don't even care what people I don't even care what the haters say, bro. It's just gonna happen, I think. Bam. And I think that just looks cool. So it actually kind of doesn't even look like it makes sense though. I think it just needs to be a little lower, so that the plane looks like it actually, you know, crash landed right there. And then we can move this one around this way. I think these big ones should only be reserved for the background, because otherwise, I don't know, they're a little bit too like they're a little too, how do you say it, like low resolution compared to the other ones, because they're like scaled up. So yeah, we will just not deal with that too much. All right, bam. Okay, that's looking pretty good, I think. And now we just want to we just want to lower that down a little bit more, I think, just so that there's actually like a path that the plane would actually go through. And we want to bring that closer down there. Yeah, perfect. I just think it's supposed to be a little bit more up. All right, I think that works. Okay, and now we will add in some smaller rocks to litter around the place. to remember the shortcuts because there's like a couple things you could do to really make this easier. Um, but yeah, we'll just litter these guys around here. And we'll like we'll lower them down after, obviously. I think, man, there's a lot of boulder choices for the snow category, which I do like. I like having options. That's always good. But I was looking for more of like more like pebbles, but it doesn't look like they really have any of those, except for the really small ones like these. Oh, I guess that actually works perfect. They look a lot more white than they actually are. Like that in the picture is not the same texture. Yeah, but whatever. It's okay, Ubisoft. I forgive you. You guys made me find my calling in life, so I do appreciate that. All right, and now we'll just litter these around the place. To make it look more like more like something happened here. We gotta rotate this one a little bit up like that. Now I'm wondering if I should be editing these videos a little bit. Because if I just leave it like completely raw, I don't know. I'm not sure. Please let me know in the comments below what you think. I saw we made a viewer. Hey, damn, I wish I remembered your name, your username. But I know somebody commented. He said he was looking forward to the series, so I'm glad to see I made a fan, bro. I'm happy to see that. Please, if you have any ideas, even for the level itself, like if you want me to like incorporate something that you think would look good, or you have any criticisms, please let me know, man. That's awesome to see that. I don't know, like it made me so happy to see that somebody actually like is watching my videos. That's so cool. But yeah, if you have any ideas, anything at all to say, please let me know in the comments, and I'll be sure to check it out or incorporate it or whatever. But so far it's looking good. Damn, I was gonna say something about the oh yeah, I was gonna say it, the person who's watching these videos, if I should edit these videos or not, like let me know, because if you want me to edit them, I'll edit them. If you think they're a little bit too boring, for sure let me know, because at this point I'm not even sure. I was trying to go for more of like a live stream kind of vibe, or like or like you just kind of put this on in the background and fall asleep to it kind of thing. But you know, if that's like not it and you think there's potential for me to do something even better, then by all means, please go ahead and notify me of that. I don't know. I don't know, but hey, this is looking pretty good. I took out that rock because it looked a little bit too chaotic, and I did want to make it look kind of burnt over here, and for that we'll need to remove a little bit more of these trees. That one could stay because that's actually kind of what I'm doing here. And we're gonna want some more rocks to be around the place, so we'll put this one over here. Now when you get up, you're really gonna be looking this way, I think, or when you spawn, should you be looking at the destruction? I don't know. I think it's a little bit, I can't tell if I want it to keep being this snowing, and I mean, this is like the highest point you'll be in the whole map, so I think it should be snowy, so that there's like a progression of biomes, which I love doing. I love making areas look different. So this should honestly be really snowy, and then it should get into like the grasslands over here, and then this is like purely like brown, like the brown. Ignore that voice crack, good lord. I promise I'm not a teenager. But It's yeah, this will be like the midway, and then this will be like the grasslands over here for sure, for sure. Okay, that's what we're gonna do. So snowy over here actually makes sense. In that case, I think we should litter around more of the snowy trees to really make it look like a snowy biome. But it, again, like I don't want it to be like super full of snow. So having some green ones in here is not that bad. Okay, now that we got some rocks in there, hold on, wait. One more thing I wanted to do was add a little bit more of these so that it looks like it was carved out. So we just gotta put these in here like this. Something like that. Yep. And then these could go like I can copy this one, move it up over here. You know what I'm saying? Bam. And I think that looks pretty good. And now we want to make it look a little bit more broken. Like I'm trying to go for like the rocks have been destroyed by the plane kind of vibe. That's kind of what I'm going for, but I think that looks fine. And then I kind of want to just make it look like snowed on a little bit so that they match the texture a little bit more and they blend in a little better. Something like that. Okay. And now I think basically we're just gonna go with the bushes next, because that's like I have like a hierarchy of detailing, at least like nature wise. I always start with the rocks and then the bushes and then the trees, because trees have a very big impact on how things look, not because of the trees themselves but because of the shadows. So it's kind of like you kind of want to play with the lighting a little bit when you're looking at the trees, because sometimes like if you just kind of put them wherever you want, it ends up making the scene look a little bit darker than you wanted, or it makes the light hit things that you didn't want it to hit, or vice versa. So we're basically gonna avoid that. Why can't I find the bushes? Oh, they're up here. There you go. Okay, 8,000 hours by the way. All right, so here, oh wow, I'm remembering that there's no snow bushes in this game except for like these. So I guess we can use these for now. But we have to go with like green ones otherwise, which kind of blows. We do have the bigger one of these, the red. We do have these as well. These aren't too bad. Let's like litter these around. I'm not a fan of working on like hilled terrain because you can't make these like bushes and stuff, you can't make them like rotate onto the surface. So wherever they are, like they stay on this axis forever, which really sucks because you can't like put them on a slant unless you're using like the painted vegetation. But who wants to use painted vegetation? Is definitely not me. And yeah, that's like basically the worst part about this game, honestly. And that's why learning Unreal is gonna be amazing, because then I could really let the creativity flow instead of being like limited by what I have here. But yeah, this is basically what I'm trying to do. The fire, the reason I'm putting so many bushes around it is because the fire isn't really gonna be, it can't really spread. Like when you think about it logically, like fire doesn't really spread in this kind of climate unless it does. I don't know if I'm being stupid, but from what I could tell, because it's snowy, there's not really any dry grass or bushes. Oh, I forgot about the dogwoods. Okay. These could be useful for us as well, just to give it that extra red autumn vibe, even though it's clearly winter. Damn, I was just saying something and I completely forgot. Welcome to my channel, everybody. Yo, what's up? Oh my god, I'm crying. Okay, and we have the sage bushes too, but I'll save that for a different biome. I do like the dogwoods though. That seems nice to me. And we do have to clear a path that the player is going to take, so putting all of these here was actually kind of a mistake. Let's go ahead and move them, because we want the players to take this path over here, but it doesn't have to be big. We don't have to move all of them. Again, we're in the middle of a forest. This is not like a place that should seem planned. You know, it's not supposed to have like a dirt path going this way. But I think that looks fine to me. And I'm also wondering if we should change the time of day so that there's more light in here. Because, I mean, for the most part, there's kind of light everywhere. Except for here. And then this is all fully lit. So I don't think it's a bad idea to have this area kind of dark. But maybe we should increase the exposure a little bit. Let's see for a second. Hold on. I'm wondering if maybe a 1.50 will look a little better here, just to make it look a little bit brighter. I think that helped. Honestly, I wasn't paying attention when it changed, but I'm sure it's fine. All right. Now I want to make sure this mountain is mountainous. So let's look at the rocks once again and take the one that's not super big. Like, this one is fine. I think I like this one better though. I don't want it to look like it was just snowed on. So I think these are better. And these have the higher resolution I was talking about, so it kind of looks better if you're closer to them. And if this looks bad on the other side, we'll fix it later. We'll fix it in post. But yeah, there you go. So now that looks kind of detailed and right. I actually kind of want to move one of them over here to add a little bit of diversity in the environment. Put one of these right there like that. I'm wondering if maybe there should be like a secret over here. I think it's worth it. I feel like we should be utilizing all the space that we have available to us. So if that's the case, then we could let's see. Oh, that's part of the environment. If that's the case, then we could kind of make a little path around here, and we'll be covering all of this with other things. I wanted to see if there was like a bushes kind of thing we can do. We got the dogwood 1 and 2. We got the ferns. Yeah, these kind of all suck. I'll be honest, these all suck. I think my usual format of just using the yellow, and I think these just look better, to be honest. Like this one, there's just no point using that. You get me? Alright. And we'll just litter these around instead. And yeah, there'll be like a little secret over here that we can go get to. And don't worry, the forest vibe is still gonna be here. I'm just removing the trees because for the most part, I keep using that. I noticed in the last episode that I used that phrase like 17 times. But like, yeah, I just like I like doing the trees myself. The paint brushes, the vegetation brushes, I mostly just use them to like give me ideas. More of like that sketch thing I was talking about last episode, where they just kind of give me a vague idea of where things should be. Um, and they fill out the space on the edges as well. That's mostly what I use them for. But like for places that the player is gonna go, I don't usually use the brushes like that. But right now I'm just trying to get I'm trying to make sure there's nothing floating. And I'll, for sure miss one or two, but it's fine. At least for now. And then this whole area needs like grass. And then what is this again? Oh yeah, the flowers. Okay. Yeah, let's put some grass around this area. And this area and this area. Just basically all around. All around, because this is basically, we're going to be putting the trees ourselves. So we don't really got to worry about that. I did notice that there is no rock here. Let's go ahead and make sure that's not the case anymore. Which is kind of hard to do. I think we should just use one of the smaller ones. And litter it up here. So that it looks more complete. Yep, bam. All right. Now that we got our surrounding area, what do we want to put up here as like somewhere that the player can go and just explore a little bit? I don't know. I'm thinking like I'm kind of in the headspace to just put like a house there, but a part of me thinks that I'll be using those assets a lot, so nothing would really like stand out about it. But I think honestly that's kind of okay. I don't think it really needs to stand out. There you go. Yeah, I don't think it really needs to stand out much. So I think we could just put like a house, I guess, but I don't know. I feel like there should be something better for us. Let's look at now I know Far Cry 4, the assets there's a couple structures I think that have snow in them. Oh, you see like there's like these tents with snow on them. But if we're going for like a place that's like historical, then these really wouldn't make sense. Yeah, like these wouldn't really make sense lore wise. Oh man, honestly that's another thing. I haven't really decided what I'm trying to do like with the lore of this place, which is definitely something I should have figured out before starting the level 100%. Like I was gonna go with like a historical place. Like I wanted there to be skeletons, like this like lost civilization kind of thing. And if that's what I'm going for, then like some of these things just wouldn't make sense. Like I can't really use any modern assets because of that, and that kind of limits what I'm able to do. Like I could put like a temple or something. That would kind of look cool, I think. Like you can kind of find this like temple, but then that would mean like there should be a path, and like there's like a sense of, oh my god, I don't know. Like I could just go with ruins, honestly. That might actually be the way to go. I think just like a ruined house. Yeah, I think that's what we're doing. And this one has like snow on it, I think. Yeah. So we can just put like a house here and like another building thing here. I think that's fine. We can have it like covered in snow. Like like with like the edges with snow coming through them. And some rocks and stuff to make it look like it was actually destroyed. And then we'll move this to the back a little bit. And then we'll put these in here so that the resolution looks a little better. A little less noticeable that it's literally like 360p. And we just cover these up with the rocks so that you don't just walk out of here like nothing and ruin the whole map. And if we're not going for any AI, I do want there to be animals so that there is something to like loot for. Like you do want to get stuff to loot. And maybe we can have like wolves up here. Like when you get here, you can like loot up a little bit and then like and then like there's like some scripting that like wolves will show up after you enter the building or something, so that when you walk out, bam, you're surrounded by wolves. And if you do come here, then you should get like a weapon or something, maybe like a pistol. But then that really wouldn't make sense because it's also historical, man. I don't know. Maybe melee weapons only? I should probably make I mean, historical doesn't mean like 1500s. Like I think a pistol could work, honestly. I don't think that's like breaking the immersion. And again, like nobody cares. It's just one of those things that at the end of the day, nobody really cares about except me. Or maybe the guy that's watching the videos right now, maybe he cares. Let me know in the comments. Do you care that there's like a pistol here? Would that like break your immersion if you're playing and you're like, oh, I'm clearly in this like... That's the thing though, is that people wouldn't know that, right? I mean, it's not like I could like do exposition in the level like before it starts and be like, you just crash landed in unknown island. And it's a lawsuit. Like nobody's gonna know that this is what that's supposed to be. It should just be implied through the environment. So if that's the case, man, honestly, I should just say forget about it and just do what needs to be done, really, because I'm just kind of wasting time otherwise. Okay, perfect. I think that's fine. I do want to clear these trees up a little bit so that, again, you're kind of implied to go that way, or implored. I don't know what's the correct word for it. Yeah, perfect. And this will be hidden up by trees and stuff after I'm done putting them down. And I do want this to look a little better. So let's do it. Let's make it look a little better. Oh God, I hate that. I hate that. Like, it's just so hard to grab some of these things sometimes. All right. And we'll move this one down a little bit. So now you should be like, oh, okay, I should probably go that way. All right, bam. So far, so good. This is looking fleshed out already. I do want some more boulders and stuff to line the edges, so let's do that now. Just to fill out some space over here. Yeah, perfect. And we'll just grab this one as well. And let's move it over here. In the game Planet Coaster, they literally have like a line to surface tool, and you guys don't understand how much I wish that tool was in this game. It just like it's so perfect, it's so beautiful, it's so needed. It makes like making things so much easier. But enough talking about how crap this editor is. Let's move on a little bit to the fact that we're about to start putting down our trees. Yeah, let's start putting down the trees. Okay. Now, the idea is that the place kind of burned down a little bit, so let's grab a... let's see, they have, I think, a burned section. Burnt trees, here we go. But they're all pretty bad, to be honest. These kind of all suck. They're all just bamboo. So we have to use the dead trees instead. And we could just start putting these down. I mean, really, there should only be dead pine trees here, because the and these, can you rotate these? No, you can't, because there's no like actual trees like that here. But it's fine. People could once again suspend their disbelief and pretend that that looks more like a pine tree than anything else. And we could just put this down there. Now they do have stumps that I could use that will help a little bit with sell the illusion. Of of things like being sideways and stuff. And I think when you spawn in, you should be looking here. It'll be like a nice little set piece. So I think that'll work just fine. And the dead tree should only really surround this tiny area, and everything else will be nice and green, or gray, I guess. Let's see, branches and stumps. Okay, now here we can grab some burnt branches and things along those lines and be placing them where they need to go, just to add some detail. And once again, a lot of these things will be altered throughout time. Like you know, a lot of the things are solidified literally at the very end, when I'm like play testing. I'm like, oh, that doesn't look right there, or like that should not be there. This thing is floating. This looks too dense. This looks too shallow. Blah blah blah. A lot of that stuff is made at the very end. This is mostly just like it's a refining process, you know. Like, a lot of stuff in the beginning ends up looking kind of like garbage, which is usually why, funnily enough, I always end up like contemplating if it's even looking good. Like, I'm like, dude, this looks like garbage. Like, what am I doing? But it's kind of just like one of those things that you just have to trust the process. You just have to trust the process and know deep in your heart that everything is going to turn out okay. And as long as you put some like passion into it, the level ends up looking good. And that kind of goes for anything, I think, really. Like the start of any drawing, I imagine a lot of artists kind of struggle with that too, where they're like, dude, what what is this? Like, I need to just throw this away. Like, I remember I had a friend in high school who would like, you know how like people would like doodle in like the in like history books and stuff. Well, like she would take it to the next level and she would like bring a sketchbook and just like spend all class drawing. And it was crazy because she was like a straight A student and like she would never take notes and instead she would spend all her time drawing. And I remember that like she would be drawing and like she would make like the proportions for like a character and be like, ugh, no, this looks like trash, and then just ball up the paper and throw it away. And she would do this like 6 times until she like finally got it. She was like, oh, you know what, this is actually perfect. And by the end of the class, by the end of that like 2 hour period, she would already have like a fully drawn person. And dude, I was so jealous. I was like, bro, how the hell do you do this? You are an artiste for real. But yeah, I guess it's like the same, a lot of people don't like how things look when they start making them, but if you trust the process, it ends up looking good. Like honestly, this little plane crash I think is looking pretty all right. And now once we add these stumps, I gotta find them. Let's see, they need the fallen tree ones. Yep, this is kind of what I'm looking for. Any other ones that we could put? Tree burned, that could work. Tree fallen, that could work. There's a lot of them. I haven't really used too many of these, to be honest. I think like 3 or 4 is good enough. Let's see, like one up here. All right, let's see how that looks. So rotate this guy up and to this side. And all right, so then now we'll just put this one over here and make it look good like that. And this just kind of adds some motion to the scene. Which one is the bottom? Well, I guess it doesn't really matter. This just makes it look like this thing had some momentum to it, enough to break entire trees down, like a tornado just kind of passed through or something. And lift this one up and down and around. Bam. All right. And the last thing we're gonna do is put the effects. I'm thinking it won't take too much effort to do. This one could be completely fallen. Whoops. Perfect. Cool. That looks perfect, I think, really. I think that looks really good. I'm thinking maybe the fire effects, I should not use fire effects, just like smoke, so that it looks like it happened. It adds some like movement to the scene, but it also looks like it happened before. Because if I put fire here, then everything should honestly be on fire since it's all burned down, but I don't want to do that. So yeah, this looks fine to me, I think. I think some more pebbles are in order, especially like over here to fill out this area. And this is where you'll be spawning. You'll be spawning and looking in this direction. There we go. Cool. So our first little set piece is done. Yeah. All right. And now we kind of just need to fill out the space around it, which should be pretty easy. Let's get the trees. I kind of want to start with the trees this time, just so I know where how to make the lighting look good. And I'm wondering, dude, should we change the time of day? I don't know. Let's see. 17:18 is where we had it. If we go for like a midday vibe, this does improve lighting over here, and when you get out here, it's like, I don't know. I feel like if we go for like a midday kind of thing, it loses a little bit of personality. So I'm not sure. Like, I kind of like how it looks here, honestly. Where did we have it? Like 17:18? If we give it that, like, right before it turns, like, super... Jeez, I don't know. I like the fact that you kind of have to play with it a little bit more, like... It's just like the shadows in this game look really bad. I guess I'm like spoiled by like modern ray tracing to the point where like I really wish there was some like bounce lighting happening in here. Technically you could make some baked bounce lighting by increasing the bounce color, obviously. Like if I made it more red, but then I feel like that's too red. Maybe I can increase the green a little bit, make it look more orange. Like that, I think helps. Maybe like 0.8 instead. I think that looks a little better. Still not great though. And I'm on ultra here, yeah. Alright, let's like fill out a little bit more. Let's see. Let's put down the spawn point so that we know the scale a little better. So gameplay or game mode objects. Spawn point. Now where should we be looking? Basically right here, right? Like right here. Like you should really just be I need the not the object icons, the object helpers. There you go. Yeah, he's like, damn dude, I survived that. And then you just go about exploring your environment. Okay, all right. So I guess we'll just work on making this look more like a forest now. Let's put down the trees where we want them. We want pine trees. And or should we start? Let's start with the snow trees because technically we're completely snowed up here. Unfortunately, there's not a lot of snow trees to use, which does kind of suck. I really wish there were some more snow assets, but hey, well, what can we do? We just gotta work with what we got. And we just gotta make it look like it's in clumps. Man, this is looking rough. I'm not super psyched about what I'm seeing right now. I think it's just too much in the shadows. I feel like it's just too shaded, and it's giving off a weird vibe that I'm not a fan of. All right, let's put some regular pines in here. But we could really, like, you know, we could fine tune it. Because I mean, genuinely speaking, like the first thing you look at, I feel like, in the level is what sets the entire, like, tone. So if, like, when you spawn in, you're like, this looks like garbage, then the whole level is kind of gonna look like garbage. So it's kind of like it's a balancing act, you know? But, you know, things really do change. Like, I will probably move a lot of these trees and bushes and stuff the more I look at them. This is just a temporary measure. I don't like the cedars. I like the hemlocks. There you go. Ma'am. So, really, I should not be too worried. Trust the process. Trust the process. It's that simple, genuinely. It's supposed to be a forest, so there should be a lot of trees here. Okay, so the thing I'm not liking is that this looks too messy. Like, you spawn in and you're like, what am I even supposed to look at right now? And honestly, I don't really know how to solve that problem besides changing the time of day. Now, the thing I like about this time of day is that it gives everything a nice orangey hue. Like, once you get into the light, I think it'll look really nice. But when you're in the dark, it's like, ew. Let's try looking at it like this again. Honestly, I feel like it doesn't even make it much better. Yeah, it doesn't make it much better. If anything, it actually helps that this is, because it actually makes it look less messy if you're all in like if this is all in shadow. What I think I could do, I could eliminate some of these trees that are kind of making things look messy and replace it with one rock. That way things look a little bit neater. It looks like cut off. Let's try it. Like, if we put this guy right here, see that helps. That helps. It kind of closes in the area a little bit. It does mean that this entire thing got walloped. So let's choose a smaller rock. Hold on. We gotta get something that's not so big. Like that's just too. These are too big, or like not too big. They're like too snowy. I think it's just what we're gonna have to do though. I think that's just what we're gonna have to go with. 7.05. Okay, wait. It's not big enough. It's not big enough. 86. Good lord. Oh, wow, you can get really big rocks. I think we just gotta go with this one. Hold on, let's see. Let me put that there. Let me bring it downtown. Yeah, and I think you still have to like maneuver around here, which is good. Let's bring a little bit more separation into this. Ooh, another thing I could do. Hold on. I just had an idea. If we get this lighting and we make it so that the sun could peek in a little bit while still being orange, like right right there. Oh, there's like not enough. These need to go down a little bit. Is that what's stopping the light from getting in here? Yeah, kind of. Okay, wait. We could put like God rays. And that will make it look a little better, I think. Let's see. God rays. God ray. Now, what is the... We have these. That's not really what I'm looking for. Soft glow. That's not what I'm looking for either. I'm just looking for God rays, I think. So if we put these like here. Now I think you could change the size of these, right? This menu needs to be a little bigger. Bam. Yes, this is what I'm talking about. Since we're not putting AI, we can kind of go crazy with the effects. Okay. Now we could like put these in between things. Make it look realistic. All right, I'm liking that. I'm liking how that looks. Not gonna lie. I think this is doing what I wanted it to do. We should put more trees over here so that it looks more believable. Yeah. Some more trees in there, and I think it'll look more believable like that. So let's grab these. And put these around them. And let's see. Yeah, okay. I like the shine on this now. This one right here, we can get this one to be maybe a little closer and a little bit more to the right. I want it to shine on the plane itself. Yep. And just a little bit higher. All right. I do like the God rays. The God rays, I think, were a good idea. If we just could maybe... Yeah. All right. You know what? I think that looks good. Now... Oh man, this is a This is hard. This is hard to make look good right now. I'm not gonna lie. Something is just not clicking with me right now. I think it's still a little bit too busy. We still need to get the paths right. So it's gonna take some time. All right, let's put smoke. Let's see what some smoke looks like. Let's see if maybe just adding a little bit of grass could help this situation a little bit. Okay, honestly, adding grass kind of helps a little bit. It does help a little bit. I was thinking there shouldn't be any grass at all because there's like, you know, a plane crash, but some grass around would make sense, honestly. You know, we could put more bushes around and maybe just fill out the space a little better. And I think it should just come out. I think I just need to trust the process. I just need to trust the process. That's all I gotta do. And eventually I'm gonna look back and I'll be like, damn, I can't believe I doubted myself. This looks amazing. Hopefully we reach that point sooner rather than later, but you know, for now we'll just leave it where it is, even though I'm still placing down assets. Don't mind me. We can keep outroing, don't worry. Come on, there you go. Bam. And bam. All right. That's enough. Okay. I don't know what I did, but I already like it a little better. I just need to detail. I just need to detail it more, and we'll just keep it rolling. We'll keep it rolling next episode, and I can't wait to see y'all there. So, thank you so much for watching. I hope you guys enjoyed this video. It's a long one. It's a long one today. We made a lot of progress. Lots of progress, as you can tell. I think we spent like 30 minutes just looking through fire effects. I might just cut that part out, honestly. I'll see. But thank you so much for watching, and I'll see you guys in the next one. And oh, don't forget to subscribe.